Hello everyone. Justin Crumley here with the Cujo Productions channel. Welcome to another edition of Sports and Stuff. Yeah, you may notice I'm not actually in front of the camera, and that's because I wanted to kind of just hurry up and get this video out as quick as I could in regards to the news that dropped. I got this news while I was at work. It's the title of the video. We now have an update regarding the Detroit Red Wings. I'm sure everyone's heard by now. Steve Yzerman has stepped down as the Red Wings GM and president of hockey operations. The reports say he stepped down, but I personally think this was a in the same way that Belichick and Kraft kind of agreed to mutually part ways. I think this was kind of a soft firing. I'll just get that right out of the way right now. But yeah, I gotta be honest. I was of two different minds on this. On one hand, I was a bit surprised because I thought, okay, obviously they're sticking with Yzerman. They're gonna let him trade Larkin, and they're gonna let him bring in this next era of Red Wings hockey, whether it's a rebuild or kind of like a push for a youth movement. Whatever the case, they were. It looked like Yzerman was going to get at least one more shot for that, but um, then this whole offseason has just kind of left the Red Wings in a state of limbo. We don't really know where they're going to go. But it seems like with Yzerman stepping down as the GM, and to be clear, he is still with the organization. He's just going to be the senior advisor to Chris Ilitch, the owner of the team. Essentially, it's like a promotion, but it really isn't because he's not the GM, the president of hockey operations anymore. I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier, and I've seen some people bring this up about what this means for Dylan Larkin. I've seen some people asking if this means he potentially will stay in Detroit now that Yzerman's out. And I don't know if I'm going to really close the door on that possibility. I don't think I will, but at the end of the day, he still requested a trade out of here. So, with a new GM, may come a rebuild of sorts. I don't know. We'll see. But with a new GM, it certainly does seem to be like that is more than likely going to be the case, which probably means we're not only going to be trading Larkin, we might be dealing DeBrincat, maybe Justin Falk too. I don't know. We'll see. It all just depends on who they hire as the GM. Now, let me get to why I really wasn't shocked, on the other hand. And it's just the obvious. Yzerman was it seemed like he was trying to run things with the Red Wings in a way where the NHL was ran maybe 10, 15 years ago, where the players didn't have as much power. They didn't have as much say in where they wanted to go. And let's face it, the contracts weren't going to be as record-breaking as they're about to be. I had a whole video recorded about this yesterday, but you have Jason Robertson, who denied $15 million a year from Seattle. He says he's looking for $14 million, gonna head to arbitration with Dallas. On that note, I do want to talk about what I think was the final nail in the Yzer plan, so to speak. And I think it was this whole Dylan Larkin situation. Now, not so much Larkin requesting a trade. I don't think that really has anything to do with it. I think it's just Yzerman seems to be really stubborn and just doesn't seem to want to pick a lane. he wanted to send Larkin off for NHL ready talent that was like around the age of Sider and Raymond, which just because you have your want doesn't mean the market is going to supply. And I think what it mostly came down to was that it just seemed like Yzerman was going to drag this out with Larkin as long as possible. It seemed like he was going to try to nickel and dime his way around having assigned big names, which is just, I don't really think is a good idea. It's definitely going to be interesting to see who they hire as a GM. I personally don't have any names to throw out there. I will say I would prefer that they actually look outside of the organization, try to find someone that is more in tune with today's NHL. Maybe, if you can, find like some hotshot, whiz kid, up and coming executive. Get a voice that isn't from within the organization. Somebody who hasn't been like super influenced by Yzerman, because I think we can all agree the Yzer plan was not working. And although I was like willing, I was kind of open to seeing what where things were going to go. I do think in the grand scheme of things, it's probably the better way to go for the Red Wings if they were to just part ways with Steve Yzerman. And while this isn't really parting ways, it's removing him as the GM. And I really do think at the end of the day that was best. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about Yzerman being no longer the Red Wings GM, no longer the president of hockey operations? If you guys have any names that you would like to see as potential GM candidates, throw them in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you guys about that stuff. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss an upload. I will be back soon with a Comic-Con video, a video that I did talking about my first Comic-Con that I went to. So definitely look forward to that, as well as a Supergirl review that's a bit outdated. Oh, and I'm seeing the Odyssey, so I'll get a review out for that this weekend as well. So a lot of content coming your guys this way this weekend, so it should be fun. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today, and until next time, I'm Justin Crumley, and this is Cujo Productions saying, stay awesome.